Namaste.
Welcome to VNA Health Highlights, a program of the Visiting Nurse Association of Cape Cod. I'm Jeanne Sarnosky, and on today's show, we're going to learn a little bit more about the benefits of pet therapy. And we are so happy to have you here today. We have on the end Lesley Miller and Cinderella, who's had a very tiring day, so we'll catch her in the shot at some point, and Nancye Dawley and Winston. So thank you all for being here. I'm a
Pleasure. You're welcome.
A huge advocate and believer in pet therapy, so I was so excited when this worked out. I think it's great.
That's great.
So tell us a little bit about yourselves. We go back and forth, and how long have you been in pet therapy, and how long have Winston and Cinderella?
I live in Yarmouthport. I'm a retired physical therapist, and I've had pets and dogs all my life. And when visiting nursing homes, I noticed a group coming in with dogs and how much the patients really enjoyed seeing the dogs. So then the trainer that I had for Winston suggested that he would make a very good therapy dog. So I went home and I looked up therapy dogs, and I decided, well, let's give this a try. So we went into training for therapy dogs, and we've been doing this since 2009, all right?
Oh, yeah.
And Winston and I have made over 150 visits.
Really?
Yes.
Fabulous.
Well, but not as much as...
Okay, next.
Well, we've been around this road longer. It started when we lived on the North Shore and happened to know Marge Kittredge, who also had horses. She had a lot of them. And she was one of the founders of therapeutic riding in this country. Wonderful woman. So that was something I looked forward to doing when I retired. And when we retired and moved to Cape Cod, I found Cape Cod Therapeutic Riding and volunteered with them for 7 years.
And where is that?
Leading horses or walking beside the children who were riding it so they didn't fall off. And when I turned 70, I decided it was a little late to be trotting alongside horses in case they decided not to still trot, but gallop. So that was just about the same time that I adopted Cindy. She's a rescue dog. And Cindy told me she wanted to be a therapy dog because she ran up to meet everybody she saw, wagging her tail and saying, "I like you. You're going to say hello to me?"
Yeah. So that's the perfect personality then for that.
She did. And she had, when she was in foster care, because she was about to have puppies when she was dropped at a quick kill shelter. And a rescue organization found her, part of PetSomething.com, and
Pet Finder?
Yes.
Pet Finder.
And the lady who was fostering her told me that her 3-year-old daughter could take food out of Cindy's mouth.
Wow.
And I decided that's a dog that I can trust with children. And I wanted that to be the case because I had grandchildren.
Oh.
And then when she came, she proved to be a very trainable dog, and I took her to obedience classes, and she went whipping through basic and into advanced. And then the advanced group got invited to train for therapy dogs. And so she became a therapy dog in September of 2004. So she's been a therapy dog for 8.5 years.
Wow,
and
good job, you guys.
427 recorded visits.
Really?
And a few more that aren't recorded. In fact, we haven't recorded her VNA visits. She's on her way to the top rank. She's got the 4th one, which is TDIEVA, which is something like exceptional volunteer or something or other.
Yeah.
And the next one is TGIVA, TDIG, which is gold.
Gold, oh, okay.
And she's got another another 75 visits to
Do you
get
know
up
how
to
old
500.
she is?
I know about.
About?
She was about a year old when I adopted
yeah.
her, so she is now about 10 and a half.
Wow. So she still has time left for many more visits,
I
huh?
hope so.
Yeah,
Yes,
definitely.
indeed. She
Wow,
loves it.
fabulous.
Yeah.
Great. Now, therapy work in general has, you had mentioned the equine therapy. When did it start using dogs? Do you know?
In the early 70s, they began to see the relationship, interaction between dogs and adults and children. And in the sometime in the mid-70s, Elaine Smith, who was a nurse from the United States, was working at a London hospital, and she noticed the interaction of the dogs with patients. They had a chaplain who came every day, and he had 2 Goldens, and the patients just loved them. And the emotional support that they gave to the patients was unbelievable. So when she came back to the United States, she decided, we need something like that here. So
when was this?
Now, she started there, she and 7 others started Therapy Dogs International in 1976.
Okay.
And out of the 8, several are deceased. Elaine lives in California, but one of the originals, Ursula Kemp, is the president of Therapy Dogs International. So
wow,
they
so
have
one
a
of the
long,
original founders.
Yeah, original founders.
Still involved
so it
in
has
the
a long,
program.
long history. Yeah.
So what kind of benefits did they find for health benefits
Well, you
of
see
using?
Nancy stroking Winston. Maybe she's nervous. And maybe he likes it.
He likes
It's very good in easing stress and anxiety. And people relax. And it gives them something to talk about with the dog handler. It's an icebreaker, and you start a conversation and you find that they miss their dogs and they're so glad to see your dog.
Right.
And they tell you all sorts of nice things about your dog and their dog. And it's a very pleasant visit, and it's a wonderful change from the boredom of sitting in a nursing home and seeing the same old faces come in, no matter how nice they are, it's same old, same old. And when somebody comes in with a dog and a smile, they've got a lot of smiles coming back at them.
Right.
Yeah.
Is that the majority of your stops? I know you have hundreds and almost hundreds of the visits that you make. Is it nursing homes?
Majority in nursing homes. We do go to schools
Okay.
and libraries.
Did I hear you did a school today?
We did. We went to the Lawrence MacArthur Elementary School, and there were 6 classrooms and 8 dogs.
Wow.
So there's 1 dog in 4 classrooms and 2 dogs in 2 others.
This was the third and fourth grades?
2nd and 3rd. We had kindergarten first tomorrow, and 2nd
okay.
and 3rd today. That's the whole
Okay.
school.
All right.
And we had a classroom to ourselves, and Cindy was ecstatic.
So was that to teach that age group about the role of therapy dogs or the power of therapy dogs, or were you there actually helping calm down the class?
No. It was to teach them about therapy dogs and what we do and what they do, and answer their questions. And we have the children read to the dogs.
Oh, really?
So, and we get a lot of questions from these children. So it was
So
great.
what were some of the favorite questions? Can you think of any? Are they just puzzled by dogs in therapy? They must have a natural...
They just, they talk about their dogs and, and where our dogs came from and how long that they had to go to school before they could be therapy dogs.
Oh, that's a good question. How long do they go?
Until they're 18. They have to be 18 to be a handler.
Oh, fun.
Or
So,
be accompanied by somebody that's 18 or over.
okay, so the handler has to be 18 or above,
Oh, yes.
The dog has to be 12 months or above.
and the dog is
Right.
12 months or above. All right. Then how long is the training?
It depends on the dog.
Oh, really? So it's
Yep.
more to accomplish certain goals, and once they do, then they're good
Right.
to go.
Yes.
Is there an average? I mean, is it a 6-week training or 6 month?
What we went through here on Cape Cod was basic obedience and then advanced obedience, and then a seminar that was 2 days long, getting used to things like wheelchairs and walkers
yeah.
and canes.
Yeah.
And people doing strange things, making odd noises, because sometimes we deal with people in Alzheimer's units who hands are waving around
Right.
and they're
Yeah.
making
Yeah.
strange sounds. So they
Right.
have to be bomb-proof.
Right.
That's
Oh,
a horse
yeah.
term, but they have to just not get upset about things.
Yeah.
We also took them to Hyannis.
Oh yes, walking
In the
streets.
summertime, walking the streets in Hyannis. And you know, there's a lot of distractions and everything, and so that they learn how to behave among a group of people and everything. And again, don't react to loud noises or, you know, cars and things like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
They have to be obedient and
Right.
trust people. So I could leave my dog with you
Yeah.
and walk out of the room, and she wouldn't bark or cry or run away.
She wouldn't be trying to chase you out. No.
I
Hey,
left
come
her
here.
in the gym down at MacArthur School a couple of months ago when we were in there for a reading program, and nobody was around. I thought, what am I doing here? This is the wrong time or something. And it was a gymnasium that had about 6 or 7 gym mats on the floor. I left her on one of those, went out, let the double oaken doors close behind me, went way down the hall and talked to the teacher to find out what was going on. When I came back, she hadn't moved a muscle.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
She's
So it
very
takes that kind of
trustworthy.
calm
Yeah.
trust and obedience
Right,
Yeah.
right.
for the therapy dog to
Yeah.
succeed. Yeah. So where is the Therapy Dog International? Is it a
That's-
place that's located here?
That's
or-
based in Flanders, New Jersey.
Okay.
They have 21,500 certified dogs throughout the United States.
Throughout the United
and-
States
and Canada.
Canada.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, that's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how did you have to go to New Jersey, or there's a group here or a trainer here?
There's
Or?
an evaluator.
Okay.
There's a certified TDI evaluator that certifies the dogs, evaluates the dogs. They have to go through a series of tests, and if they pass the test, they are certified. If they don't pass the test, they have to go back to school and try again. Okay.
Just like humans.
Yeah, exactly.
That's right.
Exactly. Yeah.
So for the certification, it's those tests.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And excuse
Oh,
me.
excuse me. They also have to have a medical examination yearly, signed by the veterinarian, and have all their shots
Good
up to
idea.
date.
Right.
Yeah.
Includes fecal samples and the whole
Oh yeah,
works.
so they don't have worms and any other.
Yeah. Yeah, and
Bugs
yeah,
or-
our membership has to be renewed every year.
Okay.
So it's an ongoing thing, and they keep very close track.
Do they? Yeah.
Oh yes, very close.
So there's no requirement for age or breed other than the 12 months for the
Yeah.
dog, but breed or size or
They
anybody?
are all sizes,
Yeah.
All sizes.
running from Papillons or Chihuahuas, Jack
Yeah.
Russells, up to Newfoundland, St. Bernards, Irish
Wolfhound?
Wolfhounds,
Those
whatever
huge dogs,
size.
yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And
It's
it doesn't
interesting.
matter.
So the majority then of your work does go back to the nursing home type population, is that right?
Yes, most visits.
Do they call you and are they aware of you, or you've stopped in to say, I have this program, what do you think? Or
Nancy's the scheduler, but
okay.
It's
sometimes they call us.
sometimes they call us. Sometimes I make contact, and I mean we've been doing it, you know, at certain nursing homes for quite a long time. So we visit each one once a month.
Okay.
We have about.
So you have a regular schedule?
Oh, we have a regular schedule, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And then we have the libraries. The libraries, the children reading at the libraries usually is during school vacation or summertime, okay? So, and that's great, and the children love it, you know.
So the children read to the dogs?
children read to the dogs, and you know, this is very good because the dogs are non-judgmental,
Right.
okay? And some children are, you know, timid and a little reluctant to read in front of anybody. But once you have the dogs, and they will sit with their books and they will pet the dogs and they will read, you know.
Wow.
So it really.
Because it's a lot safer to read to a dog.
Oh
than
yes, exactly.
the teacher or the-
They even show the dogs the pictures.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
One little kid last summer was reading a picture book. I don't think he was more than 4, maybe 3. And it was a beautiful picture, especially at the end, and he stuck it right in front of Cindy's nose. See,
Look at this. And it's also been shown to increase reading skills. Yeah.
So it's improved their reading
Oh,
skills
yeah,
by,
very much so.
because they get a little more practice because they're so comfortable reading
Well,
to
they're
the
so
dogs.
comfortable, yes, and they're not intimidated in any way. So it's becoming more and more accepted in
Right.
schools. Now, some hospitals off Cape allow therapy dogs. Cape Cod Hospital does
they
not. No.
No.
And they don't have a large pediatric department
Yeah.
there, so.
Children's Hospital does allow therapy
Oh,
dogs.
yeah.
Falmouth?
Children's.
Oh, Children's in Boston.
So maybe in a hospital environment, it's better for the pediatric than for the senior population who might have a lot of tubes and
Yeah, well,
cables or
Kids
I don't
can
know.
have tubes too.
yeah,
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
So mostly of the other senior population you catch a little bit more at the nursing home.
Right.
So
right.
how are you received there? Is it very positive?
Oh.
Or you're-
Open arms.
With open arms. Oh, we're so happy to have you. When are you coming back? When are you getting
so they know when you're
Oh,
coming.
they know.
yeah.
They know. Now, in several of them, they have a large area, lounge area, like, and they'll bring the patients in, and we bring the dogs in. Sometimes we have 6 to 7 dogs
Oh,
with
wow.
us, and we'll have the dogs visit all the patients, and then we'll put on a little show. Show them what our dogs can do. Okay, little tricks here and
Oh,
there.
yeah.
Okay, some can do more tricks than others, but oh, they love it. They love it.
It's always good for laughs
Yes.
too.
Yeah.
Because they goof up sometimes.
Right. Yeah. But I mean, one particular place, we must have 30 people sometimes at Harwich.
Oh, at least.
Yeah.
I would say 50.
It's a huge group.
Really?
But the problem is in some of those places where there's so many people, they're in 2 or 3 rows, and it's
Yeah.
pretty hard to
Yeah.
see a dog that size
Oh,
from
yeah.
row 3.
I
Hard
have to
see
carry
her.
him around.
Oh, yeah, because you can.
Yeah, right. He's heavy though.
Yeah, there's an advantage to a dog being very small or very large.
Yeah.
Because the small ones can go to the lap,
Right.
and the large ones can put their head on your lap.
Oh, nice.
And
yeah.
Cindy has to sit up tall so they
Yeah.
can reach her.
Right.
Yeah.
Or sometimes she put, if they're in a bed, she can put her paws up on the bed, or even get up on the bed, like she did with our friend who was at Epic last week. Well, he's still there. She got up beside him and lay down, and he went to sleep, and so did she. But
How
first he
nice.
just petted her and petted her
Yeah.
and petted her.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then when he fell asleep, of course he stopped. But the minute he woke up, he's petting her again.
Wow.
It was good to see.
So what do you hear from the clinical staff at these places? Do they comment on the difference the dogs make by being there?
Oh,
They know
yes.
our dogs
Oh,
by
yes.
name when they
Yeah,
walk
yeah,
in, when they've been
right.
there for a while.
Yeah. They know us very well, and they're very happy to have us there. Yeah, yeah. So
What kind of changes do they see in their residents? Do they tell you the
well,
difference it makes, or
They
you
don't
can just
tell us,
No,
but
they
you
don't,
can see
you
them
know.
brighten up.
Oh, you
Oh, yeah.
can, and they'll.
Make you promise to come back next month.
yes, yeah.
Don't miss them. You know,
No,
find
you
them.
And it's like, oh, you've made my day. You have made my day. And they get a big smile, and they're, there they are in bed, not being able to move. So, but it is great. It is just, it really, it's worth every minute of our time to be there.
Yeah.
It's very satisfying.
And the dogs like it too.
Yeah.
Yeah, how do they tolerate all that love and affection? They can't get too much,
They eat it up.
They eat it up.
Yeah.
So how many different places do you visit? would you
Right-
say? Are you
right-
like mid-Cape, or do you go?
We're mostly mid-Cape. We go to Harwich, we go to Sandwich.
We used to go up to, well, we've made individual visits up to Liberty Commons in North Orleans
Yeah.
Okay.
when we knew people there, and once went with a group. But it
We
was
have about 6 different places that we go right now. Epic and Harwich and Brewster, Mayflower Place.
Thurwood Assisted Living.
Oh yeah.
And the visiting nurses adult daycare centers
Oh,
in
yeah.
Harwich and Sandwich.
Oh,
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
Oh, good to
Yeah,
know.
we've been doing that for a while.
Have you been out to see any of the hospice patients?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I have 3. Lovely old lady
Yeah.
down in
Wow.
Sandwich that I'm going to see tomorrow afternoon, I hope, if she's well enough.
Yep. And how long do you stay? So you do a home visit with the?
It
The
varies.
patients?
First time I spent an hour with her, but then I decided I tired her. And I tried to
Oh.
make it a little shorter the next time. The last time I went, she was feeling not well at all and didn't really want to see anybody.
Yeah.
And so I spent 2 minutes with her. And
Oh,
she said
yeah,
hello to
so
Cindy, and I said, well,
every
see you in a
case is
couple of weeks
different.
if you're
Yeah.
up to it. So
Yeah.
I'll call her first.
Right.
And Nancy, have you been out?
Yes, I have right now. I have one woman in Centerville, and she's quite frail, but she's had dogs all her life, and she so much enjoys seeing Winston. But the time with her varies. I mean, it's usually not more than 20 minutes because she just tires so easily. So, but very happy that we come. So,
Right, especially if they've had dogs
Oh yes,
all
you
their
know,
lives.
right.
and-
Most of them have.
And,
Yeah.
you know, and then they tell you about their dogs, and they tell you about their family. And she was telling me about her son, who's an actor in New York, and so it's interesting because you get to learn about these people.
Yeah.
You know, I had one man who was from Sandwich. What's the school's name in Sandwich?
You mean Sturgis?
No, the regular school.
Riverview? No.
No. This is a regular.
Anyway, yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, he was an old Sandwich, goes back way back in history, you know. May have been small, no, I can't remember what this, Wing,
Oh,
the
Wing School,
Okay.
yep.
So started talking with him and learned all this history, and very interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So the benefits that you receive by being the handler of the therapy
Right.
dog,
Yeah.
Meeting very interesting people.
meeting very
Yeah,
interesting
very
people.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yes,
I met
yeah.
a World War II pilot last week.
Wow.
Wonderful man, and all sorts of talents besides being a pilot, and ended up also flying for Pan Am all over South America. So he speaks Spanish as well as English, and he understands Portuguese, and he's made really wonderful boat models, so good that he repaired models for one of the Mrs. Kennedys, and I
Wow.
think it was Rose, but we
Wow.
weren't sure.
Yeah. Great
Wonderful guy.
stories, huh?
Yeah. And a very nice younger woman who had not only me and Cindy visit her a couple of weeks ago, but 2 VNA nurses and 1 VNA social worker and a brother and a Bernese mountain dog. I left after
full
45 minutes. I thought I was in a zoo. But I
Good
think
group.
everybody left at the same time. But
Yeah.
she was up to it. She had us all out on her terrace.
I'm
and-
sure it made a difference in her day.
Oh,
it
yeah,
really
definitely.
does.
And she
Yeah.
loves dogs.
Yeah.
And she has 2 family dogs that come and visit with her.
Oh, yeah. So tell me about, we only have a few minutes left, believe it or not. What is Tail Waggin' Tutors?
Tail Waggin' Tutors is Therapy Dog International Reading Program.
Oh, okay.
Okay, that's the reading program, and that's when we take the dogs to the libraries or schools, and the children read to the dogs.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh,
So that's Tail Wagging Tutors.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what we
So,
did this morning.
That's what
Yeah,
you did this morning.
Exactly. Right.
So how many of you are there on the Cape? Do you know?
In our chapter, we have 15.
So is it a Cape chapter, or is it
It-
like a mid-Cape chapter?
No,
It's the only recognized
It's the only chapter in Massachusetts.
Okay.
Our chapter.
All right.
Okay, and we have 15 members.
Okay.
And we've been a chapter for a little over a year now. Prior to that, we all just visited, under Therapy Dogs International, but we weren't a recognized chapter with Therapy Dogs. So.
Oh, okay.
Right.
So this just gives it a different level of
Yeah.
officialness.
Yes,
Is that right?
A lot of paperwork.
A lot of paperwork?
Yeah, right.
There are other therapy dogs in the state. They just aren't in chapters.
Oh,
Yeah,
all right.
right.
Are they also Therapy Dogs International?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Are there other therapy dog?
Yeah,
Organizations, yes.
Yeah, right, yeah.
But we can't go into 2 organizations or 3 and be members of them all.
Oh, you have to belong.
Just
pick
one.
We're the oldest.
Is that right? Yeah.
And Therapy Dogs actually provides insurance for the handler.
Oh,
We have
nice.
liability insurance and we have accident insurance.
Okay.
And if we're in transit to a facility or back
Yeah.
and have an accident, we're covered.
Okay.
Or if anything happens in the facility, the handler
Is
is
And the dog.
Oh, that's
covered.
good. And the
Well,
dog.
the dogs aren't because
Yeah.
dogs can't sue.
No, but as owner of the dog,
Yeah.
because the owners
Yes.
are the handlers,
Yeah.
that covers anything that the
Right.
dog.
Right.
So
does
for
it.
anybody that is watching the program that might be interested to have the therapy dog
Yeah.
be part of their organization or
Right.
come in and whatever, they know that the level of security is high and you can be trusted, they're
Right.
trained,
Exactly.
they're health checked.
Yes.
We wear these little.
You wear
Yes.
special
things.
They all
badges
have
to
to have
identify yourself.
IDs,
Yeah,
and we
right.
have an
Winston
ID
has
tag
a-
also.
Okay. And Cindy has a little
And
yellow
the dogs
tag.
have a tag,
Can you sit
and it's
up
a
now?
free service that you
Cindy?
provide. This
It's
is all
free,
volunteer.
absolutely free. We
Okay.
cannot accept any remunerations.
is.
If they want to make a donation to Therapy Dogs International, they're free to do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we are just about out of time.
Oh.
So if I just want to get a phone number in case anybody is curious about your
All
program.
right. I'm at 508-375-9967.
Okay.
And I'd love to hear from anybody who's interested.
Very
I'd
good.
love to have more therapy dogs.
Okay. Well, thank you so
You're
much, all
welcome.
4
Thank
of you,
you
for
very
being here
much.
today.
Yeah, thank
and you
you,
got a nice
Jeanne.
little nap in.
Yeah.
Yeah. All
You want
right.
another drink?
I'm Jeanne Sarnosky, wishing you good health and good health care.
Very good.
And then
Thank
they read
you.
credits. It'll
Thank
take just
you.
we'll see.